Thank you so much for being with us today. My name is Dana Connors. I'm the president of the Maine State Chamber of Commerce. I didn't really mean to say that. That was habit. My name is Dana Connors, but today I'm here on behalf of the Maine Manufacturing Extension Partnership, its board, its staff, and is to welcome you to this very special event. It is the Manufacturer of the Year award ceremony. Bruce Pulkkinen is the chair of our board, and it breaks his heart to miss this event because it means so much to him, but Bruce is with the National Association of Manufacturers, and as we all know, this is a special day for all manufacturing in this country. So being on the board, he is at a regional meeting. His absence is my pleasure. I express his regrets and pleased to go forward. Let me simply say that this award is a very special award to us at MEP. It's also a ceremony, this ceremony, that has become a long-standing annual event for our organization. This year, as I mentioned earlier, it's being held in conjunction with the National Manufacturing Day. And all across the country, MEP programs like ours are putting the spotlight on manufacturing. They're offering and holding a broad range of events intended to showcase the accomplishments, the success stories, the contributions of our country's leading manufacturers, just like today, just like here. And hundreds of companies, just like Kennebec Technologies, are opening their doors and inviting members of the public to come in, to tour their facilities, and to see what a modern industrial workplace looks like. This is not my garage floor, I've got to tell you. This is very, very incredible. This year's awardee, Kennebec Technologies, is one of Maine's great, wonderful manufacturing success stories. And we're here to celebrate their accomplishments and to say thank you to them. And it gives us all a great pleasure to do that. WIC means a lot to us and his people as a company, as the contributions they make, and as the people that you all are associated with them. Their story is an inspirational story because this company has faced the challenges, the stress, the anxieties that go with the transitioning economy, an economy that we weren't sure what it was going to look like, but we had to do something about it if we were to succeed. They have, and we're here today to thank them for that and to celebrate that success. That was then, and their challenges, this is now in their success. And we know that in success, in any type of success story, lie a multitude of factors. No question. It's visionary leadership, it's very talented management, it's dedicated employees, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of good fortune mixed in, and you have what you have right here today. But those of us in Maine know that there is, as Paul Harvey would say, another part of the story, although he would say it the rest of the story. We call it a partnership, but it's also an attitude. We have in Maine a network of champions that provide economic development, help, and opportunity. They offer a broad range of services, but most of all, we come together with their help as a partnership because we have come to know that if we do it together, we'll do it better. Those champions that are here today, I'd like to have them raise their hands so that we can acknowledge them at the end and to thank them. Their role is to help us as companies provide services that allow us to succeed and be more successful in this ever-challenging competitive world that we're a part of. Lisa Martin is here from Manufacturing Association of Maine, Maria McIntyre from the SBDC, Lucy Somo from MITC, there she is, thank you. We've got Brian Whitney that is in charge of development and the governor's account executives. I don't see Charlie Emmons here from fame, but I know he's an integral part. But we also have a couple others in addition to Charlie that aren't here, like Maine Technology Institute and the University of Maine Advanced Manufacturing Center. All of these people are invaluable to us in business in Maine. And on this day when we're celebrating manufacturing in general And this company, Kennebec Technologies in particular, let's salute those partners and let's say thank you to them for their success and their willingness to work with us, if you will. And for the guy that we say leads that effort, who's an advocate on our behalf, and who does all of the things that I just mentioned and much, much more, is my friend and our Commissioner, George DeVay, who has other introductions and a very pleasant duty to perform. Commissioner?
Thank you. Great day to be here. Great event. And first, I'd like to compliment each and every single one of you on your stylish eyewear. So the Maine MEP Manufacturer of the Year Award, presented each year to a manufacturer in the state that has shown exceptional vision, growth, and leadership. Companies that have won the award in recent years come from a broad array of industries, from biotech to medical device manufacturing and to footwear. But the recipients, despite their diversity of industries, all exhibit several notable characteristics. All have displayed an ability to innovate and develop new products. All have sought to diversify their markets and supply clients in multiple sectors, insulating themselves from dependence on any one single product or market. All have recognized the value of investing in their employees and providing ongoing workforce training. And all have embraced lean manufacturing, identified internal lean champions, and looked aggressively for ways to reduce waste, lower energy consumption, and cut costs. And as a result, all of the Maine MEP award recipients have displayed strong growth trends and demonstrated that they can compete with the best in the world. Innovation, diversification, workforce investments, lean manufacturing, these are all hallmarks of what we consider next generation manufacturers. Companies that are leading the resurgence in American advanced manufacturing. So today we're presenting this award to Kennebec Technologies in conjunction with the National Manufacturing Day, which has been designed as a day to showcase the success of American manufacturing. The day celebrates many high-skilled jobs that manufacturing has created, but even more importantly, it highlights the many good-paying jobs that are available today in manufacturing. Most importantly, it's designed to publicize the career opportunities that are available in manufacturing and encourage more young people to consider careers in manufacturing. So later today, you'll have the opportunity to tour the facility here, and what you'll see here is happening at thousands of other manufacturing sites across the country. The face of manufacturing has changed. 21st century manufacturing is all about technology. CNC machining, robotics, and other advanced manufacturing techniques have changed the nature of manufacturing. And so too have they changed the nature of the workplaces and what workers do. Today, manufacturing demands highly motivated, highly skilled, highly flexible employees who understand how to take initiative, how to problem solve, and identify ways of leading the process. These changes create challenges for every company, but they also create challenges for the state from a public policy perspective. As Governor LePage toured the state and talked with business leaders, he constantly hears about the challenges that we're having finding skilled labor, the challenges, particularly in manufacturing, to put skilled workers in the quality jobs that are here today. So we've stepped up efforts to support workforce training. There's an example of that here at Maine MEP. There's an example of that through Governor LePage's efforts, through changes at our Community Development Block Grant Program. Manufacturing Association of Maine and community colleges also exhibit those changes and those challenges. These initiatives that can rapidly respond to the workforce needs. We've also sought to ensure that we have a broad range of economic development programs in place that can serve the wide array of business needs. That's why I'm pleased today to be joined by all of those that were recognized and mentioned by Dana Connors. The federal government is also a partner in our efforts to support Maine businesses, and I hope they all go back to work soon. And I'm pleased to be joined today by those who are working. Representing Congressman Mike Michaud, I'd like to introduce Rosemary Winslow.
It's an interesting time. Should I just leave it at that? Thank you. But I have to say, it is an interesting time, and for me, when I think about all that has taken place at this work facility, and I can remember, and this is going to date me to some extent, but I can remember a good 40 plus years ago when I was working for Northeast Slabs, and even before that, I had several relatives, and most of the Winslow family is from Togus and Vassalboro, and I can remember this kind of facility and the technology would not be here. And it is marvelous to view what is taking place, and thanking those who had the idea, have sown it, have grown it, and it's marvelous to see people who are doing an outstanding job. Well, like everything else, you get a phone call and an email at about 9:30 at night, and no, life changes, and you're told the congressman will not be back in Maine because of. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here on behalf of Congressman Michaud to celebrate the achievements of this year's Manufacturing Excellence Award recipient. And having read the background and what you're all about, incredibly well-deserved. I am proud to know that Kennebec Technologies has been manufacturing in our great state for the last 3 decades. Given their reputation in quality and their efforts to innovate, it's fitting that they receive this honor by Maine MEP. You represent the best of Maine manufacturing, and you serve as a model for others to follow. As you all know, the work done by MEP is critical to maintaining, building upon the bettering our manufacturing base. MEP's work is so important in today's economy, especially to rural states like ours, because it creates and sustains much-needed jobs. The Congressman would personally like to thank Muriel Mosher for her years of assistance to Maine's manufacturers and always being a trusted resource for the Congressman and his office staff, such as myself. To all of those from Kennebec Technologies, congratulations. I look forward to the tour. And congratulations on earning this honor today. If at any time, and I'm speaking to any of you who are part of this organization, anything comes up, don't hesitate to give us a call. We'll be there, we'll listen, and we'll respond. Thank you.
So also here today on behalf of the Kennebec Valley delegation is Representative Matthew Pouliot to say a few words.
So before I read the sentiment, Wick, it's truly an honor to be in your facility here today. I was on the planning board when we approved the project here, this addition. And I remember talking about, what's the outside going to look like, because this is the Riggs Brooks development piece of Augusta, and we're really concerned with the appearances of the buildings. And someone on the board spoke up and said, we don't have to worry about it. It's Kennebec Technologies. It's going to look great. And it truly is an honor to be here today with you, and I want to congratulate you on receiving the award. And what I have is a legislative sentiment from the members of the House and the Senate, and I'd like to read that now. From the state of Maine, be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, join in recognizing Kennebec Technologies of Augusta on its receiving the 2013 Maine MEP Manufacturing Excellence Award from Maine Manufacturing Extension Partnership on National Manufacturing Day, October 4th, 2013. We extend our congratulations to Kennebec Technologies on its receiving this award and send our best wishes for future success. And be it ordered that this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the 126th Legislature and the people of the state of Maine. Congratulations, Wick.
Are you ready, Wick? So I'm going to invite Wick and Harvey, and I will tell you that Governor LePage really would like to be doing this honor. You'll have to settle for me. Really want to say congratulations for all you've done, and congratulations on your successes. Congratulations on becoming the 2013 Manufacturing Excellence Award presented to Kennebec Technologies. Let's hear it for them. I think Wick is probably ready to start some tours.
I want to make some remarks.
Oh, well, come on up then.
George thought I was speechless, and it's close. We've been at this for a while. Majority of our employees, if you work for Kennebec Tool and Die, why don't you just raise your hand so people know? It's pretty obvious from the shirts. We've got a group of our employees here. The average length of tenure of our employees is over 10 years, but we're also at a point in the history of the company where we started to have the average age of our employees decrease because we've got a whole new generation of employees starting. And I have to also explain that we don't usually make all the parts we make with nobody at any machines. And the way we operate is that we start work at 5 o'clock on Monday morning. We work a 10-hour first shift and a 12-hour second shift typically. So by the end of business on Thursday, we're in an overtime situation, which typically gets worked on Friday and Saturday. Today there are a couple machines running, but majority of the Friday work ended by late morning. I like standing up and getting recognition. It clearly is always a pleasure, but I'm also always a little embarrassed because I'm not the guy who does all the work. And it's taken just an immense amount of effort over a very long period of time to get to the point that we are today. From 1972 until 2009, we were Kennebec Tool and Die. And in the years just preceding 2009, we realized that we needed, as we were proceeding, probably to project a different image. We needed to step up to being the company that our customers thought we were. We also found out that being Kennebec Tool and Die got us far too many phone calls for the rental of snowmobiles, not snowmobiles, but wood splitters and rototillers, and we had to tell the people that we weren't in the rental business of tools. So that we cleared that up, which was significant, but not really critical to our future. So that's what we don't do. But when we talk to people, they often ask us what it is that we in fact do. And what we do is contract manufacturing, which means we don't have our own product, but we manufacture to other people's specifications. It's a global market, and I'd like to just highlight a couple of parts that we've made, because they talk to this. This part is a gear housing that goes in a Boeing 737. There are gears in it, and they go from an electric drive motor to a shaft to move the flaps up and down. It's a flap actuator mechanism. We've been making this part for over 15 years. It's part of our legacy work. The second part is another part that ends up in Boeing aircraft. This ends up in a Boeing 787. It goes on the General Electric engine. There are 10 per engine. When we first made these parts, it was in a quantity of 1 and 2. Today we have a machine dedicated to it, and the volume continues to increase as the Boeing 787 moves into higher production. There are a couple of unique aspects to this job. One was that it was cast in New Hampshire, machined in Maine, finished in Massachusetts, shipped to Sweden to Volvo Aerospace for assembly into the casing for the jet engine, and then back to Evendale, Ohio for the assembly into the jet engines, and then to Seattle to go in the Boeing planes. This is truly a global marketplace. But with this part, we were not the chosen manufacturer for these parts. It's for a customer that we've had for a long time. They gave it to another vendor. We were asked to quote it, and we told them that we thought it was a really nice part and it had huge volume, which we really wanted, but that it could not be manufactured as designed. And we could tell them how to make it, but we would not quote it as designed. So they gave the job to another manufacturer. The manufacturer gave them back parts for 2 years. Not only did they give them back a part, but they gave a red tag with every part saying that it wasn't to print. We ended up with 5 Volvo engineers in this facility, along with Brent Duncan, our engineering manager, who wanted all along to say to them, I can tell you how to make that part if you just give me a chance. So we told them what the minimum was that they needed to do in order to make this a manufacturable part, an affordable part, and we've ended up with the job. And it's really, I think it's a testimony to what the crew in this company do. It's not about a few stars. It's about having a consistent level of excellence, from top to bottom in our employees. And it's something that we strive to do. We've had big changes over the years in the way we've gone at it. Excuse me. Because you have to do that. So just getting to the MEP piece of this and how we view the relationship we have with the state. We have felt for 30 years like people knew that this company and companies like it were around. That started in the late 1980s when they were looking for research dollars in the state, and they set up what they called centers for innovation. One was in technology transfer, which was metals electronics. That really did evolve into MEP. And once MEP started, we began working closely with them, and it's really been fundamental to the change that we have undergone over the last 10 years. We're continually looking for new customers. We want to increase our revenue, and we really want to provide long-term stable opportunity for employees. We don't offer jobs here. I mean, if we're doing our job well, we're not offering jobs. What we're offering are careers. The folks who are at our highest levels now, the majority of them started off as machinists, or in many cases in high school sweeping the floor. And they've had the opportunity to learn as they've gone, and we've gotten more and more aggressive about trying to improve our systems and our competitiveness through investment. But what really matters there is the quality of the people. It's easy to get technology. It's easy to bring in new systems. The hard part is making those things work. In 2009, when the economy collapsed, we fell back to a profitable position. What kept us in business or kept us profitable that year was the machines in this room, because these are all what are called multitasking machines. They are at least 8 times as complex as the average machine on our shop floor. In the 4 to 5 years prior to 2009, we had learned how to get really good with these machines through the systems that we have, as well as the machinists who run them. And it was our competitiveness in the work that's in these machines that made the difference during that year and is really driving us forward now. The last major piece of equipment we purchased was a larger version. These are 150 machines, and this is a 250 machine. But you can see, again, we will on a tour, what's inside this machine. It's got multiple turrets, it's got multiple spindles, and it does both turning work and milling work. So it makes parts complete that we used to make in 8 or 10 different setups. It's quite amazing. And oh, by the way, oftentimes the people running the machines will not be running one, but they'll be setting up one while the other is running and then running them both together. So just taking a quick look at what we've done with MEP, Bill Whittier has really been our first and foremost partner in all this. He and Harvey have worked very closely together. Bill, thank you very much. Bill is a neighbor of ours. He sort of lives just down the street. There have been times this summer with the natural gas construction that we thought he'd have to walk in order to get here. It's been a long summer. But the things that we've done, in 2001, we did an operation called TimeWise. That got every employee in the shop involved in an exercise in looking at lean manufacturing. In TimeWise, you build clocks. And I would submit that we were the best clock builders in the history of TimeWise. By the end of it, we were making clocks at a rate that I think no one had ever made before. But it really made people understand what you can do if you work together and get a very organized flow of material. Starting in the mid-2000s, 2005, 2006, we worked on the organization of our shop floor, standardization of workstations, and did a lot of workflow analysis to take unnecessary steps out of things. That's 5S and lean. We've been doing that, for the better part of 10 years, and that will be ongoing. We've also been focusing on quality system improvement. In 2010, we did what is called Six Sigma training, which was meant to drive continuous process improvement on the shop floor and get all employees engaged in that. And then we've also done QC Kaizens for the reorganization of the flow of work through QC. And starting last fall, we began to focus on our new job introduction process. That Volvo door that I showed is really an example of that. We find, like all companies like us, we find that customers, especially at the beginning of the process, want small quantities very quickly in order to prove the concept of what they're making. If you can make the parts to their specifications quickly or quicker than somebody else, oftentimes price doesn't matter, but you can get yourself in on the ground floor for future work. So that's a very large focus of ours. And then finally, moving forward, we'll continue to work on customer service, competitiveness, and competitiveness. Every day we have to ask ourselves, what do we have to do today in order to maintain a strong competitive position? It does not change from day to day, and the option of enjoying where you are, as much as it's nice to do that occasionally, is really not something you can do in the long run, because the question really is not what did you do for somebody yesterday, but what are you going to do for me today and tomorrow? And we work hard at that. And one of the biggest differences is the help that we've gotten from people like MEP so that we can do the identification of the issues and what we can do to move forward. So I just want to say thank you for this award. We're thrilled to get it. And hopefully for the foreseeable future, we can continue to do things to make us worthy of it. So thank you very much. And we'll be available to do tours for people who would like that.
That's exactly right. That's precisely what I was going to say, but he said it better than I did. So they'll be around, but before we take a tour of this very special company that we celebrate today, and to get a glimpse into what advanced manufacturing really is and how important it is to our state, I do want to ask that some of our partners, our legislative delegation that's here today, hang around for a moment so that we can take your picture. And also the partners that I mentioned, as well as Peter Perea, who I failed to mention with my apologies, from Labor, who's here, to have a picture to illustrate one more time that it is about partnership. We're here to celebrate a product, we're here to celebrate a process and a very special company, all their people, as a result of their hard work and their investments, timely investments, but also it helps to know that when you work with your legislature, when you work with your economic partners, good things can happen. And that's what we believe in the state of Maine, and that's what we do to make it happen. With that, I thank you all for being here with us to share this special day, this special moment. And as Wick said, he'd love to show you his company. Thank you very much.